So I'm going to make this video pretty quick. I hardly ever talk about the actual clips and sequences in Drambo, and partly because originally when I was making music in Drambo, I wasn't really even using those features. But recently, um, I've been using Drambo again, jumping back into it, and I thought I should start really using that little clip option because you could, in theory, create like song parts. So you could have like an intro, maybe a verse, chorus, outro, whatever. But I'm just going to show you some simple things that you probably want to know or should know about this. Obviously, these clips each represent a track and you can see where they fall. So if five, these fall directly under five, right? This allows you to copy the whole line of these tracks down. And then if you just want to copy to put a new sequence here and do something different, then you just hit this one right here. So I did that pretty simple, right? Let's put that back in. Now, if you want to delete something, like let's say this is a lead that I'm looking at right here, just swipe up and hit delete, and now that clip is gone. Um, and then you can move here. What did I just do? So, and then if you touch over here on this side, you can see that you can change the time signature, but you also can edit and remove. So it's pretty good. I was long pressing, by the way, on this, so you know. Now over here, if you just want this first track to just play a bunch of times, you can just turn on this little looper and it will just play whatever track. Let's say we're on this one and we hit play. It's going to just keep playing this whole sequence, right? So you see the little timer going here. Now that's a solo, and these are the same as these four up here. So, but let's say I don't want to do that. I actually wanted to play a song. Then this little timer is right here. So this little spot here. So now what will happen is it'll play, and when it completes this cycle here, then it'll go to track 2. So you'll see the lead will drop out. So we'll just wait for it and give it a chance to play. I can't remember how many bars I did that lead, but um, yeah, let's give it a second. Let me turn it up a little bit. Here we go. So there you go. So you get the gist of it. So this is a great way to make music in Drambo and I haven't even built anything on the master. Um, but if you can get used to this workflow and how it functions, uh, you can do some really cool stuff. I like to MIDI map these mutes and solos to um, keyboard, the QWERTY keyboard. If you have a Magic keyboard, that's even easier. But if you don't, you can just get a little cheap QWERTY keyboard, like 20, 30 bucks on Amazon, and use that as your controller and map everything to that so that you can play live. Um, this right here allows you to move up and down. So what you could do, this is another idea if you wanted to use this, is you could have it looping and then drop down immediately to the next one and time it yourself. Right, so now you have more control over when something is dropping in and out or how you want to use it. So Drumbo is really powerful in that way. There's the editors follow song feature here. You can have that on and off. It's up to you what you like. but you do have the swipe down option to stop a clip. So let me show you what that is. So let's say this is playing and you're on this clip here. It's a mute feature, right? So you just mute it, then swipe up and it's back on. So that's a really handy tool in Drambo. In fact, that works on the track, by the way, in case you were wondering. So if you're hitting swipe down on the track, swipe up and it'll start back. So that's why I say Drambo is so easy to work with when it comes to live performance. And this little thing up here allows you to record the master out. So you could, in theory, go and arm each one of these because they all have their own little track headers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there they are. See them right here? See how you can turn these on? So if you want to get stems, you could turn those on, and this one will do the master if you just need a master bus. But if you don't want that, you want each stem out, then you could do that. And now you could just press record, and then it will play as long as you want, and you can fade and do your whatever you want to do. So it's a performance tool in a way, but it also can just build track sequences based on these clips. Now, I've never been into clips, but I'm gonna tell you now, Drambo, even more than I don't use Ableton clips, but even more than the Ableton clips, I think Drambo is pretty top tier. It's the only clips that I've ever, as a person who's not into that, will actually use. So that tells you a lot. Um, but anyway, just wanted to show you guys this. Don't be afraid to use it if you want and build your clips, and maybe you do your 8 tracks. Maybe you want some other ideas to go on in there. You can do that, and you can have more than 8 tracks. But I usually rarely use the 8 tracks, so really no purpose for me personally to have more than that. And then you have your 2 sends and returns, right? So you can use these to help send out pieces and stuff. So now the one thing I wish that Drambo would add, and I'll be honest, is audio tracks. And this is because I would love to be able to take hardware and record audio tracks directly into Drambo, and using my gear instead of having to use the Flexi sampler. I want to just be able to just record in, and that would be amazing because now I have another option to sequence my audio tracks. But anyway, just something that I'm hoping one day will come. I have no knowledge as to whether it will or not, but it's just something that's on my mind and would love to see it. All right. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I'm out.